You're watching Ride Like a Local with Belt Drive Betty. Welcome back to another episode of Ride Like a Local. This week we're in beautiful Wetaskiwin, Alberta at the Reynolds-Alberta Museum's Ride to the Reynolds, presented by Honda Canada. Right now, I'm being joined by the president of the Alberta Indian Riders Motorcycle Association. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing great.
What brings you out to the Reynolds?
Well, this is my hometown, so brings me here. It's nice to see all these bikes in my hometown, so I really enjoy seeing it here. This is a great facility. Lots of old bikes here, lots of old cars, planes, you name it.
Tell us what we're about to see. What kind of a treat are we really in for with this Honda Canada Presents?
Well, I believe there's a bunch of Honda here, and you can take some rides on the Hondas if you want and check them out and see if you like them.
And what about inside the museum?
Inside the museum, it's great in there. You could spend hours and hours and hours here if you like. I've been here, I've watched it grow from when they first built it. And it's a great place. Lots of old bikes, Harleys, Indians. There's Hendersons in there. They have bike shows everywhere, every once in a while. Tractors, 1903 grader in there, you name it. It's all in there.
Well, I'm definitely looking forward to it. Shall we take a wander in?
Sure, for sure.
Okay. I'm with Steve Zimmerman.
Buddy, how you been?
I've been good, Steve. How you been?
Fantastic. Nice to run into you here.
It is. What are you doing here at the Reynolds?
Well, a couple of reasons. I mean, it's a free motorcycle day, so bikers like stuff that are free, right? So I pulled in, and I couldn't believe the amount of motorcycles here. I'm now a proud owner of a vintage bike myself. I have a 79 KZ 1000, the type of bike that used to eat my lunch back in 1979 when I owned a Honda. Not a slight against Honda, but I had a CBF 900 that could never take these KZ 1000s.
Right.
Now I R1, and I love it. And the displays here are amazing. Not only, I mean, we're in the Honda section right now, and all the 50s and 60s bikes, but all the cars, the trucks, this kind of iron you're not going to see at a car night at A&W or anything. I mean, they have a tremendous collection here. And I'm almost ashamed to say I've been in Alberta since 1993. It's my first time here.
Your first time here?
No, shame on me. My kid says I belong in a museum, but this is my first time at Reynolds, and it's outstanding. It's really terrific.
It is. It's been 18 years since I've been to this museum, and I can't believe the way the displays have matured and changed, and the kind and quality of iron they have in this place.
And really Alberta specific, too, to a certain degree. You know, the first trucks in Alberta, the first luxury vehicles owned in Alberta. They have Duesenbergs, they have Packards. I mean, they have just some unbelievable displays that really, I mean, bring your camera and an extra battery, I suppose, right?
Absolutely. One of my favorites is the old Studebaker. I love the Studebakers.
Right.
And to see that old beauty in here. And then the one from the Jasper Park Lodge, that limo.
The old touring cars. They still use something similar on the going to the Sun Highway
right.
in, what is that?
Montana?
Montana, the Glacier Park, right?
Right.
They still use those old touring sedans, but there's a great one here from the Jasper days. Fantastic.
It is. What else do you think that people should know about this museum? Seeing as it's your first time here, what do you think we should tell other people about this place?
Well, by all means, don't leave it 23 years in the making. Make sure you pack up everybody. It's a beautiful drive out here, out Highway 2A, through Wetaskiwin. Come on out. Plan on spending a lot of time, because once you're in, you're free to roam, right? There's just great displays from all kinds of areas. This Honda display is kind of 50s, 60s specific, but you'll get everything from the beginning of time to modern day. And, you know, whatever you're into, trucks, cars, bikes, farm equipment, right? Old tractors. Like I say, I really dig the Alberta-specific stuff as well.
I do too. Thanks for taking a couple of minutes with me, Steve.
Thanks. Great to see you again, Belt Drive.
Good to see you. I'm being joined right now by Ron Clifford, who is with the Alberta Iron Indian Riders. And we're at the Reynolds Museum here in beautiful Wetaskiwin, Alberta, taking in the Honda display. Tell me what you thought about that display, Ron.
The Honda display was I remember me and my brother used to ride those little things. But now we ride Indians and bigger bikes now. But everybody you think grew up on an Indian or a Honda or a Suzuki or Yamaha or something like that, because they were quite popular back in the 60s.
Not only that, but they were very affordable.
Exactly, yeah.
The museum itself,
Oh,
what do you think of that?
mind-boggling. It's just amazing what that man did. You know, all the collections and everything. It's just some of those big tractors. Holy Dinah.
What did you think of some of the old limos they have in there?
Oh, yeah. To have the dollars to spend to ride on one of those today.
That Duesenberg, wasn't that a sweetheart?
Oh, no. Amazing. Yeah. Amazing, yeah.
So you guys came all the way up from Calgary for this day?
Yeah, quite a few other guys from Calgary are here today too, and run into a lot of friends, you know.
It's an amazing event. They've had somewhere around 500-600 bikes through here already, and I was amazed. It's like old home week. Oh, it's almost as good as going to a swap meet in the fall.
Exactly, yeah. Oh, hi, haven't seen you for a while. Exactly, yeah.
So what's your plans for the rest of the riding season?
We have a fall barbecue up in Grand Prairie. You're going to be our ride guide.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And we're being hosted by a motorcycle club up there, which is awesome. I think we're the Iron Indian Riders. We have no rules, and who shows up, fine. Good. Maybe we'll see you next time. You know,
Right.
That's the way it is. That's the way we roll. You know.
It's nice being that way because then there's no pressure on people.
That's right, and people have got lives, you know, working and family and stuff like that. You know, there's about 40 on my email list and my contact list, 40, 50, I guess, but we have no rules, you know.
That's a nice way to roll.
It's just family, yeah.
Right on. Well, thank you so much for taking a few minutes with me and letting us drool over this beautiful Indian of yours.
Oh, it's been well photographed today already. Thank you.
All right.
My name is Sherry Breen. I am the controller at Community Futures. What I enjoy most about my job is coming to work with my coworkers. I enjoy the people I work with. I enjoy the flexibility of working here, and I just enjoy the actual job itself. I like working with the numbers. If I was to give a young person advice, I would say don't be afraid to fail. Try new things, and when you fail, that's when you learn the most. My inspirations, what inspires me would be my parents. They're very hardworking people. They own their own business. They're in their 70s. They work every day. They've instilled a good work ethic. And I also get inspiration from my own children. I believe that teaching them to enjoy the work they do and work hard is really something that they should strive for. My favorite pastime is working out. I like to go to the gym. It's good stress relief for me. Favorite quote that I have, do unto others as you would have done them do unto you.
Which community was the most rider-friendly community in 2016? Presented by Community Futures of Alberta, Canada's Most Rider-Friendly Community contest starts September 2016. The Sports Camera Store in West Edmonton Mall is your one-stop shop for drift and GoPro action cameras. We carry Canada's largest selection of action cam accessories, along with video sunglasses, hidden and surveillance cameras, and more. Visit www.sportscamerastore.com or stop into our West Edmonton Mall location, lower level by the bay. Two Hills, Alberta, winner of the inaugural Canada's Most Rider-Friendly Community Contest, home to the Run to the Hills Memorial Rally and Wayside Fallen Riders Park. Two Hills, Alberta, Canada's most rider-friendly community. I'm with Cynthia Blackmore of the Reynolds-Alberta Museum in Wetaskiwin, Alberta, where we've just spent the most incredible day looking at old motorcycles, old vehicles, Honda's new motorcycles. Cynthia, what did it mean to you to have some 700-800 motorcyclists come to your beautiful museum?
We were so excited about it, and like I said to my friends here at the museum, we had a party and everybody came. It's awesome for us. We want people to share our love of machines, and what better day than today to have all of our motorcycle community come and share the day with us.
It was an amazing day. Now let's talk a little bit about some of the displays you had on hand inside.
Well, inside this year we had a special Honda exhibit. It features 40 motorcycles from the 1950s through to the 1960s, and those motorcycles were from a private collector, so that display is only up until October 11th of 2016, and then it will be taken down. But it was really important for us to support that display with ride to Reynolds and have everybody join us and see what was in our galleries. And of course we are providing this summer tours of our warehouse, so we brought down some of our motorcycles that are usually up high and racked up there in the warehouse, brought some of those down to show some people, and then we also have of course a variety of motorcycles through our main gallery. But our themes here are cars, airplanes, tractors, and industrial machines, and if you saw our gallery you saw lots of cars, and if you listened to the sky today, we had our open cockpit biplane adventures flying continuously, and of course we have a large collection of aircraft in our aviation hangar, so all good.
It was, I only got to go in through the one exhibit, and I can't wait to go to the warehouse exhibit. I'm excited for that because you guys had some beautiful old motorcycles that are non-Honda. You've got a Flying Merkel, you've got some interesting old Indians. Let's talk just a little bit about a few of those rare motorcycles that are in there.
Well, I think that is one of the strengths of our motorcycle collection. Our motorcycle collection is quite small, but some of the bikes in it are very rare, and like you said, the Flying Merkel and the Silent Grey Fellow, you know, some early Harley-Davidsons. So these kinds of bikes are on display in our gallery, and you know, they're spread throughout so people can enjoy them. But that's what it means to us, is we're here to share our love of machines and our vehicles with everybody, and that's what our facility is all about.
As I said, there are so many Alberta-specific stories inside of this museum, and Stan Reynolds himself was an amazing human being, very proud of his Alberta heritage, very proud of anything mechanical. This man loved it all.
He did. And you know what was really amazing about Mr. Reynolds is he saw many years before other people recognized the significance of a lot of the things that he collected. So he started his own museum. As a private business person, he did start his own personal museum many years ago in the 50s. And so he always had a passion for collecting and a passion for things mechanical, and he wanted to share that with everybody in the province. And we are really fortunate as a province that Mr. Reynolds donated much of our collection. In fact, I do believe that his donation, the very first donation he made to the museum when the museum was opened in 1992, Mr. Reynolds was, of course, it's built because of Stan Reynolds, but that donation was the largest cultural donation ever donated in the history of Canada.
See, folks, every time I talk to this lady, I learn more about the history of our province and our country. And if you have a weekend that you're looking for something to do, the Reynolds-Alberta Museum, Wetaskiwin, Alberta, it's a must-do. Put it on your bucket list and drop the excuses. Get out there and ride any way you can. Get up here. You're going to enjoy your day so much, I can guarantee it. If people wanted to find you, how could they get in touch with the Reynolds-Alberta Museum?
They can just look us up online, Reynolds-AlbertaMuseum.com. They can like us on Facebook because we're very active on Facebook. And I saw today we were on fire on Twitter and Instagram, so they can reach us that way, or they can phone us.
And what's your phone number?
780-312-2065. That's our general number.
I'm being joined right now by Paul Fridge from Honda Canada. He is the team leader for Western Canada. And Paul, tell me what your impression was of the ride to the Reynolds.
Betty, what can I say? What a fantastic day. Over 1,000 attendees on a beautiful August Saturday. As a motorcyclist, I don't think we could have asked for a better day.
I don't think so either. And the interesting thing from my perspective was the demographic of the people that were out there. We had them from young 17, 18-year-olds all the way up into their 80s and 90s still riding, and we had bikes that were about the same age range.
It was truly unbelievable. I agree, Betty. The mix here today, not only with brands, but ages and people from traveling from all distances, was truly a phenomenal event. We gave out awards today for the oldest motorcycle, which was a 69, as well as the furthest distance traveled, which was over 400 kilometers.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive. And the Reynolds, let's talk about this amazing museum.
You know, the association between the Alberta provincial government, the Reynolds Museum is just a phenomenal relationship. Not only has it worked well for motorsport enthusiasts in general, but certainly for Honda Canada with the featured display here. This is truly a huge resource for the people of Alberta that, in my opinion, is underutilized.
Now, something else that was a first with this very first event was that you guys were offering demo rides here. Let's talk about the reception to those demo rides.
Certainly the demo rides were well embraced. For us, this was an initial attempt at offering demo rides to the motorcycling community. So we weren't really sure what to expect, but the response was phenomenal and certainly something we want to grow for next season.
I think the partnership with Honda Canada coming out and being able to showcase 50s and 60s motorcycles inside and then 2016-17 models outside was kind of a nice juxtaposition. It really gave people an eye-opener as to how far technology for Honda Canada has come.
Absolutely. We are proud of our relationship in Canada between the auto side and Canadian consumers. But at the end of the day, we are a motorcycle company, and it's these type of events that we truly live for. We are the world's largest engine manufacturer. Internal combustion engines are what we do, and two-wheel is where we came from. So the fit between that display and the motorcycling community here was perfect.
And on that note, the ride to the Reynolds, check it out for next year, folks. Don't forget, keep the August calendar a little bit light until they make an announcement as to when that date's going to be.
Thanks, Betty. We'll see you next year.
Moncton, New Brunswick, home of Atlanticade Motorcycle Festival and runner-up community in the inaugural Canada's Most Rider-Friendly Community Contest, sponsored by Community Futures of Alberta. Thinking of starting a new business? Expanding an existing one? What could you do if you had a team? We'll meet your new team.
Hi, I'm Holly Sorgen. I'm the Executive Director. My name is Wanda Shepard. I work in administration.
My name is Sherry Breen. I am the controller.
My name is Leah Holler. I work with Community Futures.
This is Shane Wallace. I'm the contract business analyst.
My name is Janine Harder.
Community Futures, growing communities, one idea at a time. The Rider-Friendly Business Association, helping you to shop, eat, and play local. www.riderfriendly.ca. The Rider-Friendly Business Association, helping riders find rider-friendly businesses. I'm with Kevin O'Connor, who helped me out today at the Reynolds-Alberta Museum Ride to the Reynolds, their first annual. Kevin, tell me a little bit about the day from your perspective.
It was a very interesting day. From having me pole sit for a while and get some shots of everybody coming in. But there was quite a few. I think they said around 1,000 bikes come in, which is amazing for a first event. But yeah, and mixed bikes, it was incredible. Everything, Harleys, Hondas, and then Honda had their display there, and demo rides and few different vendors. I think it was Rocky Mountain Adventure was there, and they had the Heritage Museum from Wetaskiwin also had a booth there. So, and then of course everything that's in Reynolds as well. So it was a good day all around. I mean, great weather. Couldn't ask for anything better, really.
Yeah, it was pretty much a picture-perfect day. Mother Nature smiled on them. They had lots of great music playing, old 50s and 60s music and all sorts of wonderful things. And then, of course, inside the Reynolds, all of the standard displays, and then there was the beautiful Honda's 50s, 60s display in there. And then you went out on a demo ride. Tell us a little bit about that demo ride and the bike you rode.
Bike I rode was 2016 Interstate, I think. Great bike. Lots of power. Lots of power.
What size of plow for it?
1,300 cc is what they said, and I was really surprised, actually. Had no problem twist the throttle, you were gone. And I was filming there, doing some shots of the demo ride, and there was a couple times filming that I cracked the throttle to get past some people. Next thing I know, I was at the front of the pack. So yeah, lots of power. Suspension was a little rough, but other than that, I mean, it rode, it handled fantastic. I was really impressed with the bike overall, and everybody seemed to have fun. The ride was, it was a good ride they picked an interesting route, took some back streets through Wetaskiwin, so you had a few little twists and turns and some not really stop and go traffic, but you could get the feel of it within a city. And then we went out on the highway, went to the Gwyn Valley, and they took a back road into the Gwyn Valley, which is picturesque for a short little run, and again some more twists and turns, and then come straight back on the highway. So you got a really good mix for probably a 25-minute ride. It was a good mix for this area. Seemed to have a great time. Even they have one of their new bikes there, the dual sports with the automatic transmission. So that was kind of interesting to see. That it allows you to override the transmission as well, so you can shift on the fly if you need to. So it was a good mix of roads and bikes.
And what was the response from the other riders about the Honda motorcycles?
So, I mean, everybody seemed to be impressed with the bikes. There's a few guys there that were on the ride that came in on Harleys and that, and seemed to be very impressed with everything. So,
for a first-time event, 1,000 bikes is damned impressive. What do you think it was that brought out so many riders? Do you think it was the free event at the museum, the fact that it was a gorgeous day? What do you think happened there?
I think it was a mix of everything. I think they planned it well. I think having the dealerships involved with getting rides together and coordinating rides to come out, I think that played a big part in how many people we got out there. And then getting the word out through media, through word of mouth, obviously worked. There wasn't a lot of, that I could tell, there wasn't a lot of radio spots or anything in regards to it. So it seemed to be mostly social media, the internet, word of mouth, and obviously it worked. Having the good weather, that obviously helps majorly. And I think having the Reynolds with all the background with machinery and cars and motorcycles and all that, and of course anything free everybody's going to come to, but yeah, I think it was just the right mix at the right time, and the weather on top just, it gave people a good place. There was guys riding in right up till 4:30. I mean, it went from 10 till 5, and there was people showing up at 9:30 in the morning, and there was people rolling in right till the end. So, people went for rides and had it as a stop halfway through the ride or at the end of the day. Some people came there first and then took off and went for a ride from there. So I think everything just came together. I think next year they'll have it bigger, a little bit better, maybe a few more vendors. I think this is something that's going to become a must-go-to kind of ride every year.
Any final thoughts on the day and any words that you'd like to share with fellow riders as to why they should come to Wetaskiwin for a day?
It's not that far from everything else. There's a lot of good riding around here. Lots of people come down, they go around Pigeon Lake and that kind of thing and head out. But I mean, even different highways. I mean, you can grab Highway 13 and head west, and you go out past a bunch of different lakes. There's hills, there's some twisties. I mean, you can ride all the way out to the end of it to Alder Flats. There's a lot of good riding in this area, a little bit different riding than what you get around, say, Edmonton or Red Deer or Calgary for that matter. And I mean, the people here are nice, they're friendly. It helps another bedroom community, I guess you could call it, to Edmonton and Red Deer. So just come out and support the local businesses, the local economy, and the Reynolds. I mean, it's a great display that they have on year round there. And when they add things like this, like the Honda display that they had, the 50s and 60s, there are some rare bikes. I mean, there were even guys that were bringing in their own vintage bikes on trailers. And there was one guy, he came in on I think it was a Goldwing with a sidecar, and he had a flat deck trailer behind it with looked like a 1950s scooter on the back. So, I mean, that stuff in itself, guys showing up with vintage stuff like that and riding in on vintage bikes, added a lot to the event. And it's a good event. It was a good time. It's only going to get better. So I think people should just give it a try and come on out. If they were here this year, great, thanks. And see you next year, I guess.
Well, thank you for your time, and happy trails.
Thank you. Have a good ride back.
That's all our time for this week, folks. Next time on Ride Like a Local, we speak with a few of the volunteers from the Fort McMurray wildfire.